What a wild week for the main event crew. So we went to Game 6 of the World Series. We launched a new short on trick-or-treating, social distancing style, well over 4,000 views already. The Bucs have a Monday Night Football game this week, and the best color commentary you are likely to see all year is coming up on Tuesday night. Who's going to wear the wig of shame tonight? We're going to break down the World Series, our trip, what to expect of Monday Night Football, and more. I'm B. Love. We got the Pooh Bear. We got the Chief. We got TSG. This is the main event. We got.
Don't make me laugh.
Don't make me laugh.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, don't make Chief laugh.
Oh,
Wow.
Chief, we're going to tell it.
We got a new intro.
That's a new intro.
TSG looks. He's owning. What was the word? What would we call that character? Pat Dirt.
Oh yeah, we're going to call that one Pat Dirt.
Yeah.
Pat Dirt. So, man, what a crazy week.
Oh.
So there was a reason last Sunday night that you saw four guys pretty giddy. Right? Pretty giddy about some things that were going on. At that time, we had to keep it a secret.
Yep.
But we had already decided to go to Game 6 of the World Series sometime that afternoon. So we left on a jet plane early Tuesday morning, went out to Game 6, came in second place, had a good time, came back to Tampa. So I before we get into the game, because I think we've all got a lot to say, right, about probably the whole series, not just Game 6. But gentlemen, what was some of your favorite parts of the trip? Not all at once.
TSG is on mute. You're on mute.
Chief, how about you, man? What's your favorite part?
I am muting for him.
There we go. So, man, I got to tell you, I had a lot of fun from start to finish on the trip. I really enjoyed, going to the World Series. But I got to tell you, man, meeting Tyler at the Boot Barn and scoring this sweet cowboy hat, man, that's going to wind up being my souvenir for I need to get like a little World Series. Oh, I did buy a pin for the World Series. I might be able to put it on this hat.
You can put it. If I turn this way, you can see it.
I see it. Yeah.
It remarkably looks good on you. I don't think I look good.
I know. I was going to say.
I'm not going to lie, man. I've had some compliments on this thing.
It looks fantastic.
I bet you have. It looks fantastic. Listen, that young lady, I don't remember what her name was.
Tyler.
She knew an insane amount about cowboy hats.
Yep.
And she's never owned a cowboy hat. That's what I find crazy.
Well, and she shared with us that she learned everything that not everything, but her interest started on Twitter.
Yep.
About cowboy hats.
So Tyler, if you're watching, thank you from the main event. You were a fantastic salesperson and did a great job.
There's pressure, man. Did you see that 80-year-old supervisor running around there?
With the boot guy, yeah.
That guy was like mafia. When he come around the corner, that young kid that just started working there, he'd like start shaking. He's like, "I'll get your boots. I'll get your boots." He's shaking in his boots.
He's telling TSG, "Look, you got to buy some boots from here. They take me out back."
Hey, I felt bad for the guy. So check it out.
There
Boom, Texas style, right here.
The TSG, your favorite part of the trip is the boots, huh? Or is that just a souvenir?
Well, these boots, they walk a mile. I'd like to, if anyone was to walk a mile in these boots, they'd know that I also went and had some delicious barbecue And that was probably my favorite part. That barbecue, that was some legit stuff there. And
The cool part about that experience was we go to this joint. I don't even remember the name of it. Anybody remember the name of it?
Yes.
The barbecue place?
I saw it like 10 times today when I was editing.
Lockhart.
Lockhart.
Yeah, Lockhart. So we go to Lockhart to get some barbecue, and we're there just pretty much for the barbecue, right? So we step up to the thing, and we just start ordering meat by the pound. Give us a rack of ribs, give us a pound of brisket, give us some sausage, and they serve it on butcher paper. Like there's no plates or anything like that. They, you know, as the Pooh Bear showed us, and we'll get into this in a minute, you don't need a napkin, you just need a loaf of bread. Right, and sop up the barbecue sauce. But we just laid out on the table all of this barbecue and just ate it buffet style.
Right. That's Cowboys. That's a cowboy way right there.
That's cowboy style. Okay.
We do it on the range.
Okay. Cooper, how about you, man?
I've got some audio problems. I'm not sure, man. I was trying to think of it. You know, this was kind of sprung on us here at 6:58, and I started thinking, and I'm like, man, I just had a great time all around. I can't think of any one good thing. I mean, we had great travel accommodations. There was no problem there. There was no problem with our hotel. There was all the rest. Everything we ate, if you see the vlog, everything we ate was delicious. All of our Uber rides were fantastic. There's just no bad thing. So I don't know. Maybe meeting Kevin Kiermaier's mother-in-law. We didn't vlog that, but she was a very nice lady. We met on their return flight out of Dallas.
Yeah.
What was interesting about that is we stood there and had a whole conversation with her. And at the end, she's like, "Oh, by the way, I'm Kevin Kiermaier's mother-in-law." You're thinking to yourself, man, thank God I didn't say anything bad about Kiermaier.
Yeah. She was trying to work it in.
Yeah, well, when we first walked up, she was kind of looking at us. I guess, I mean, we're wearing Rays gear there, and we have our face mask on that say the Rays. And she's on the phone with her daughter, and she's looking at us oddly. And I'm like, why is she staring? I'm thinking maybe we're violating her personal space. You know, we're a little too close. And, you know, you guys start working on your laptops and stuff. We go to take some restroom breaks and that kind of thing. She finally gets off this phone and starts talking to us. I was like, oh, boy, here we go. She's going to lay into us about something. We done messed up now, boys, is what I'm thinking. And no, she just wanted to talk about the game in the race. And I thought that was awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. I think for me, I mean, Pooh Bear, I'm like you. The whole trip was absolutely awesome. And if you haven't got an opportunity, we did make a vlog of our Game 6 experience. It's on our YouTube channel. You can go check it out. Well, you got to wait till after you watch this one, but then go and check out that video. You kind of get an inside look at what it was like to be part of the main event for Game 6. But I think for me, you know, we got to the stadium pretty early. You know, it was a 7:00 first pitch, Texas time. And we got down to the stadium around 4. Doors opened at 5. I guess maybe a little bit after 4. But that whole experience, like just the feel of that area and then getting inside the stadium and then just the whole feel and the excitement of this game that's about to happen. For me, that was pretty awesome. And obviously I loved having, you know, I mean, the best part is doing it with y'all, right? Because I had originally, when the Chief came over on Sunday, I was going to go by myself if I had to. So I can't imagine it wouldn't have been nearly as good, but man, it was certainly a good time. And again, check out the vlog if you want to see an inside look.
Hey, how come nobody mentioned the Pioneer? That place was fantastic, man. You got to admit. You know,
I mentioned good food.
You did mention good food, yeah.
That definitely deserves a mention.
And by the way, the Pioneer was kind enough to make me chicken and waffles. That was not on the menu.
On the menu, yeah.
Yes.
But as an experienced fat guy, I knew that this was the kind of place that would make chicken and waffles for breakfast.
And you pretty much explained it to our waitress that way. You said, listen, I've been to a diner or two.
Right.
And in my experience, you guys likely have a dish called chicken and waffles. And man, she was too happy to accommodate.
Yes, she was.
She wasn't just happy to accommodate. She said, "Honey, we're going to put some powdered sugar on there on the top for you."
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, I thought too. Now I can't remember what I was going to say. So what I thought it was interesting. We were running into random people we didn't know or had never met, and telling people about, hey, we have this show called The Man Event.
Right.
Get out your phone real quick. Look us up on
Go
YouTube.
subscribe.
We were just making random people subscribe to the YouTube channel. It was great.
That's what you have to do. Self-promotion, man. You have to do it.
So it was good. So Game 6 didn't go exactly the way we had planned. Right?
No. Nope.
So who wants to go first?
I've got a little. You guys, I know you're all going to complain about the Snell poll, but I'm going to maintain and stand my ground that you're not going to win too many World Series games by only scoring one run. I mean, I love this baseball team. I want them to win in every single way, but you cannot get around the fact that they only scored one run.
Pooh Bear, I don't disagree with you. So you brought up the Snell poll, which is the obvious thing. Right. You don't have to be a Tampa Bay Rays fan to know about the Snell poll. It's been all over media all week since Tuesday night. The guy had given up 2 hits. His second hit was he was immediately pulled after that hit. Had only thrown 75 pitches that night. Was getting stronger as the night was going on. Still throwing in the mid-90s. Wasn't showing any sign of fatigue or slowdown. And Pooh Bear, I 100% understand your point. You got to score runs to win Major League Baseball games. But I wonder what it did to the dugout, right? These guys are in a win or go home scenario. And the best person to give them a shot for a Game 7 is on the hill. And he's pitching the game of his life.
Well, I thought about that. And then he was pulled after essentially 6 Rays at-bats or 6 innings of Rays at-bats. They didn't have but 1 run up until that. They had 9 outs to go after he was pulled. So that argument works for 9 outs, but not the others, is what I'm getting at.
I'm just saying is if he's there, he's still – these guys – I understand they weren't hitting, but they still have a chance. Our best chance to continue to win listen, we saw a miracle happen earlier in the or later in the week before, right? Where they had a walk-off win. Like as long as runs aren't going up on that board, we have a chance for another miracle. We can live to play another night. Going into Game 7. And by the way, we were going to put Morton on the hill in Game 7. Not a bad guy to take you out there in winner take all.
So let me jump in here because, yes, I do believe that pulling Snell was a mistake. However, there's a lot of mistakes that were made that night. And the guys that got struck out by not swinging the bat, every one of them, that's a mistake. Okay? The guys that didn't get on base, they flew out or whatever, that's a mistake. I don't know what game you guys went to, but I didn't go. I went to a baseball game, not a pitching ball game. And the way you win a baseball game is by getting on base. I mean, that's how it's done. We had to score more. That wasn't. There's always a chance. I guess it could have ended 1-0, but
not likely.
Not likely. Absolutely not likely. This is the best offense in Major League Baseball. Sooner or later, they were going to find somebody they could hit. And, it didn't take them but one. It didn't take them but one guy. Besides the fact that move did demoralize the Rays, I think they were kind of okay with it. I knew they understood it, because it's happened to them all season. But it was that home run. But the one thing they did do was it energized Mookie Betts. He was the batter. And if you watch the video, as soon as they pull Snell, he grins and looks over at his manager, and he's like, now we got him. And
this is what I've been waiting on.
Yeah. So lots of mistakes, lots of blame to go around.
And to that point, Chief, the first 2 times that Snell had faced the 1, 2, and 3 hitters, for the Dodgers, those guys were a combined 0 for 6 with 6 strikeouts.
Yeah, analytics. And the other thing is you can't hide behind the analytics. Analytics are a tool. If it's going to come down to we're only going to use analytics, why have managers? We can just have a secretary out there, or some kid, running numbers who's going to tell us what to do next. Kevin Cash is sitting there watching that. That's his job, is to use the analytics, to use what he's seeing and his baseball knowledge and put it all together. Maybe he would have done the same thing all over again. I don't know. Not now that he knows, but.
So my problem with Kevin Cash's decision is not so much that he took out Snell, which I would not have done, but my problem is more with who he replaced Snell with. Anderson. Okay. You had so many other pitchers that could come in for that meat of the lineup that I would have chosen. Right. And that was my problem. Anderson had allowed runs in his last 6 times on the mound, and he's been terrible in the playoffs. Even if he needed Anderson to get some outs, then he should have used Castillo or almost any of the other pitchers who have had success during the playoffs, and he could have used Anderson on some other guys later on in another inning and used it on some easier outs for him. I mean, this was an elimination game, and the only guy that wasn't that was unavailable would have been Charlie Morton probably. And even if he would have been there if it's an elimination game if you really had to. But that's the guy
you had to have him. He'd have got you a couple of outs.
Yeah. So, I mean, that was really my problem. When you look at those analytics, you're right, Chief. When you're looking at analytics for all during the season and you're comparing them to the playoffs, it's a different animal. You got many different variables that are going on, and I don't think that you can make complete decisions with those two being so starkly different. You've got to treat it a little bit differently. You've got to see that Anderson 6 times has allowed runs in a row. He entered the playoffs and he changed.
Yeah.
And that's a problem, and you got to see that. So you got to make some adjustments. We're still learning how to use sabermetrics. I mean, it's been around since 1980, and it's been around for a while, and they're still learning how to use this stuff. And the guy Bill James is the one who actually coined the phrase back in 1980, and he's the guy that's been using it the longest. It took him a while actually to get a lot of these baseball teams to actually use it. But
I think the argument that the Chief is making is that if you're only going to use analytics, at some point you still have to have a feel for the game.
Yeah.
And to his point, if you're only going to use the analytics, you can put anybody out there, right?
I agree.
To manage the in-game situations. Here's the thing. Pat, you brought this up. Pat, you brought this up about Anderson. Okay, now he had pitched great in the regular season. All of the analytics would have told you, in fact, that's the guy that pitches at that point in the game. But on the flip side of that coin, all of the analytics would have told you that Blake Snell also didn't have a great regular season. But the guy had a great postseason. Right?
Yeah,
he pitched great all postseason long.
And what are the analytics?
At some point, you have to have the feel for the game.
Right. And to your point, B-Love, when you look at you got to take the analytics. He matches up well against those batters. Okay. He also matched up really well with the Yankees batters. He had success with those guys, all the lefties. And so where does that in the sabermetrics compete with each other? Which one is better? I mean, I think you got to go the route where you're looking at them, like you and Chief just said, and you got to be able to use both and have a feel for the game. And whenever you guys are done commenting, I do have a rant with regard to the sabermetrics and some of the other broadcasters out there.
Yeah. So I think the last thing I really probably have to say is, the game started off great for us. Arozarena, second batter of the game, went yard. We put two other runners on that inning. Okay, that we didn't get across the plate. And in the second inning, we put 1 or 2 on as well, I believe. So through 2, we were showing signs that we might put some runs up for the night, and Blake was again rolling. The first 2 innings, 6 outs, 5 of them were strikeouts. Right? And then obviously the night turned out of our favor. I will say the last thing, I told that was going to be the last thing, but it wasn't. The other thing is, so we stuck around for the celebration, right? We went down to Texas Live, and even in our loss, we wanted to see what it was like to be able to celebrate a World Series victory like that. My hat's off to the Dodgers fans. Not a single person gave us crap.
No,
this is true.
To the opposite of that, they were coming up to us and saying, "Hey, fellas, strong season. Hey, fellas, you guys got a lot to be proud about. Hey, fellas, you are a worthy opponent."
They're class act and victory.
That would not have happened with Philly fan or Boston fan or New York fan.
Yep.
It just doesn't happen. So you're right. So thank you. If you're a fan of the Dodgers and that's your attitude, we do appreciate that.
Even in the stadium, people were coming up to us at the end of the game. The fans sitting around us came up and fist bumped us.
Yeah, because they knew that the beast from the East, the best team in the American League this season was the Rays. Top to bottom, this was a team nobody wanted to play. They didn't have the fiercest lineup, but they had the fiercest bullpen. They had the fiercest defense. Nobody wanted to play with. And these Dodgers, who were scoring, 10, 11 runs per game, it seemed like, were held to Mookie Betts, the best player in the world, arguably, didn't have a great series.
No.
Really?
Hey, but
speaking
before
of that,
TSG goes off on his rant, hold on. Before TSG goes off on his rant, I need to unrant on Blake Snell for just 1 second. Because at the beginning – hold on. Hey, because at the beginning of the season, I went off on Snell because he was complaining about his pay and blah, 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 blah. Okay, so when it was over, after the game was over, the series is over, Blake Snell has a press conference, and he is looking forward. He's talking about next year, which if you're a Tampa fan, doesn't matter, football, baseball, whatever, we're really good at looking at next year. So he's looking to next year, and he says this team should show up to spring training hungry. And I'm going to tell you, I can appreciate that from Blake Snell. That's probably the first time I've seen in his career for him to take real leadership of this team. He's a Cy Young award-winning pitcher. He looked like it on the final game of the series, and he knows it can be done, and he's telling his guys, hey, let's rally. We'll be ready come April next year.
Yeah. So did you guys see that this week we did not pick up the option on Charlie Morton or Mike Zunino?
Right.
Charlie Morton's a $15 million option. We need hitters. We honestly do.
And he is also looking at retiring. So his whatever the news came out this week when the option wasn't picked up, he also came out and said, hey, listen, I'm going to evaluate my professional career, whether or not I want to continue to play. He basically said the only place I do want to play is Tampa. I don't want to have to move again. I like it here. I like the area. Who doesn't? I like the team. If I'm going to play, I'm going to play here. Obviously, it's just not going to be $15 million.
Maybe a veteran guy with a chance to help us win a World Series takes a pay cut to bring in some bats.
Hey, the old beach discount. The sandy, that white sand can work on people.
That no state income tax works well too.
Yeah, probably a little more than the beach did. Yeah.
So, new guy, what you got for us?
Are you ready for this? So, here's the thing. First of all, it's on the sabermetrics. Okay, I've heard a lot of broadcasters that are down on the sabermetrics and down on the small market team being in the World Series. And sabermetrics is really good for baseball, actually, because here's the thing. It's the only way small market teams like the Rays can compete with the giants like the Dodgers, the Yankees, and the Red Sox. When these small market teams make it to the playoffs or the World Series like the Rays did, it creates new and excited baseball fans. And Major League Baseball's fan base expands. So you can't tell me that Major League Baseball could not use an influx of excited fans that are competing in a world that the NFL and the hockey leagues that are, that's getting more popular by the day. You can't say that baseball couldn't use, those fans. And that's the thing. Every time a small market team creates more and more and more fans, it grows baseball. But because they don't have a salary cap, these teams like the Yankees, the Red Sox, and LA Dodgers are always in. The same teams in all the time. Yeah. And that's not good for baseball. It's kind of like the corporate world where the big rich giants are saying, hey, you small guys down there, just be quiet and go back to your place. And I love the world the way it is right now because it always works for them.
Agreed.
So shame on the broadcasters. Shame on the people that say that. The two best teams were in the World Series, and it made a lot of fans. It brought a lot more Tampa Bay fans, a lot more Tampa Bay area fans into baseball, which will help grow the MLB over time.
Hey, one thing I'll add to that is in 2008, we went to the World Series for the first time. No blue Mohawks this time around.
No.
No cowbells either.
Where were the blue? Was it Johnny Gomes who started the blue Mohawk, though?
It was.
I believe it was, yeah. So no Johnny Gomes, no blue Mohawks.
Johnny Gomes had they dubbed it the Ray Hawk or the Faux Hawk, and he dyed his hair blue and did the hawk. And
man, they should have had him throw out one of the first pitches.
That'd have been pretty cool.
He would have thrown out one of the first punches, I guarantee you that.
Right. Hey, we threw out a first pitch.
So to kind of end the baseball conversation on the show, I know we've talked hitting, but what is the one thing you see the Rays need during the offseason to help them continue to play at this level?
Well, if they're going to lose Zunino, who is not a great hitter anyway, the catching position with a good hit. I know it's hard to come by. There's not too many of them. I can probably think of on one hand, 5 really good catchers that are able to hit. It's just not a great thing. But that would be, for me, that's the dream position. Because your baseball purists will tell you being strong up the middle, if you don't have a good catcher, don't have a good second shortstop, and you don't have a good center fielder, you're going to be weak.
Very true.
So being strong up the middle, we already have that everywhere except for the catching position. We just lost our catcher who, again, was not a great hitter, but that is a dream. If you could win the player lottery, that's who I would like to see as a hitting catcher that can handle this staff. That's my pick for the offseason.
Okay. Hey, let me ask you this, and I'll get to the Chief and the new guy here. KK, is he a Ray next season?
He's definitely a Ray. Look, the games that he was out, nobody was in charge of that outfield. They looked like the Bad News Bears out there sometimes, and they were not making the correct throws in. He is a fantastic center fielder. He's got a great arm. His bat is just okay. So for what we're paying him,
he also gets expensive.
Yeah, he's a Ray. He's the face of the Rays right now, and of course, we know his mother-in-law. So
once.
Yeah, he's a Ray next year. Absolutely.
All right, okay. TSG. What are your thoughts? What do we need?
I agree with Pooh on the catcher. If we can get a catcher that can hit, we can hit that lottery. I do think that would be the most beneficial position that we could have make improvement on. Maybe a leadoff batter that is really good at getting on base. So a Rosarina can A-Raz, we call him, can knock them in. That would be my pick.
Chief, how about you?
Yeah, same thing. I just absolutely the catcher, and I really want to emphasize the A-Raz. We didn't. We said we were going to coin that, and we've been a little light on it. So, Randy A-Raz, that from here on out, see if we can make that happen, guys.
I like it.
Are we, as fans, done with the Hideki Shitsugo
experiment? Yep.
Shitsugo.
Hey, and we also never mentioned what a great game, how well Adames played defensively.
Willie Adames played fantastic.
He was
okay. So that was going to be my thing for what the team needs.
Oh, I'm sorry, B-Love.
Listen, I don't disagree. The guy's got a phenomenal glove, but he can't hit worth a crap.
He has a problem.
But the one thing I do like that he brings to the club, he raises the culture of this team.
Yeah.
He is a huge cheerleader.
Yep.
He is a dugout guy. He looks like, Chief, you talk all the time about Winfield Jr. for the Buccaneers. Like he loves to play football. That guy loves to play baseball, I'd like to see him be a little bit more patient at the plate. It's interesting because the guy looks so cool, calm, and collected in the infield, but he steps into the batter's box and like the anxiety comes over him. Like you can actually physically see it.
What's wrong, Chief?
I want to change my my thing from catcher to what we need, and I'm going to go with batting coach.
Ooh, you don't think is it Schneider? Kyle Schneider?
Kyle Snyder's
You don't even
coach.
know who the guy is, so we must.
No one knows who the pitching coach, who the batting coach is.
I do. I know who it is. I know his name. I just can't think of it.
Well,
Schneider
terrible
first.
as far as I can tell. Anyway, that's my vote. We need a batting coach.
Well, the thing with Adames too is he has the #1 prospect in all of baseball nipping at his heels.
Yep.
Wander Franco is the next Francisco Cabrera, enter whatever shortstop phenom that you want. This young man is coming up. He was on the active roster just in case someone like a Willie Adames got hurt. He could step in. He is ready. As far all the scouts and everybody say he is ready. I would not be surprised if he comes out of camp with the Rays.
Wow.
At what position, I don't know. Especially with Willie, playing so well at short. Maybe there's a shift.
And Lau at second.
Maybe there's a shift in the infield. Maybe Lau goes to third. I don't, especially with Sasugo gone, or probably going to be gone. It's going to be interesting. It'll be interesting. The Hot Stove League is right around the corner. That's exciting to me every year. There's always that crop of free agents that turn over. It seems like they just hop from team to team every year, and so it'll be interesting to see what kind of clout the Rays can draw coming off of an American League pennant.
Well, here's hoping that we actually get an opportunity to see spring training in Port Charlotte.
Yes,
with us in the stands. All right, so here
our annual tradition.
Here's hoping. All right, so let's switch it up a little. Hey, Pat, you got something?
Well, just to mention that Chief's getting some positive comments there on the cowboy hat.
I know. I was like, "Come on, Poober, you're not gonna you throw that one up in the."
Who they're from doesn't count.
Exactly. I was gonna let B Love just decide whether or not it's posted.
That girl knows what she knows good when she sees it. She also challenged me to some push-ups, recently, and she had.
Listen, I haven't heard a single person, even my wife said that hat looks good on Cliff. So I'm not.
Yeah, listen, that hat does look good. I hope he wears it to spring training. And
you know what I like about the hat? You know what I like about the hat? When I take it off, I look almost bald.
Like take it off.
Like when I take the hat off, I go from having this awesome hat to almost being bald, and I'm like, I should have left the hat on. So,
yeah.
Or if I just go hatless,
let's switch it up. So before we get into something else, yesterday was Halloween. So happy Halloween from the main event. And this week we dropped our short on. We did it Tuesday while we were at the barbecue joint.
We couldn't wait. It was done.
We dropped it while we were eating barbecue in Arlington.
It was scheduled for Thursday morning, but we just couldn't wait any longer. I was so excited to get it out because it felt like it was our best work yet, and every bit of feedback we've had, at least on what I've heard, has been just that.
I would agree.
Let me know when I can debut my scary Halloween mask.
Oh, what? Well, you dressed up?
No, not yet. I'll hold off on that. We're going to get to that.
Okay.
So, so over 4,000 views it's gotten since Tuesday. I agree. To me, of course, we're biased. It felt like some of our best work, but it's kind of a funny spoof on trick-or-treating and trying to be social distanced, and our thoughts and intuition on how to do that best. If you want to see what that looked like, make sure after the show you go check out that short. All right, let's talk football. So before we get into the Bucks being on Monday Night Football this week, how did we do last week on our predictions?
Oh boy,
some of us did pretty good.
Chief, I believe you and I ended up 2-1 last week.
Yes, we did.
2-1 last week.
So I must have gone 3-0 then.
Nope. No.
So our three games last week were LA and Miami.
Yes.
And Miami pulls out a win with rookie quarterback Tua Tagovailoa.
Right. What a great game. That was our local game here since we don't have Bucs football on. And I mean, the Dolphins looked dominant.
They looked good.
Dolphins looked good.
I watched part of that game too. Yeah. And then the other game was Atlanta, Carolina, which was the Thursday night game. And Ra, our old Tampa Bay Buccaneers head coach, the new guy in the ATL, Chief, I think he's got this team rolling. They're looking good the last 3 games.
I'm telling you, man, we do not want to play those guys. Like you said last week, we want to play the Falcons from 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. We missed out. We still have to play them twice.
Yeah, we do.
We have to play them while they're turning the corner.
Yeah, the good team.
Well, I thought that Christian McCaffrey was going to be back for that game in order to help.
That's why you picked the game. I do remember that now. You actually said that.
And he was still held back, so he's supposed to make his return this coming week. Week 9.
My fantasy team desperately needs him to come back.
Well, my fantasy team for this league desperately needs him to come back.
The main event league?
Yes.
And then the Patriots-Bills game, Buffalo, man, they are still continuing to be a dominant team. They beat the Cam Newtons, the COVID Newtons.
Buffalo looks good.
Yeah. So by my math, the Chief and I end up 2-1, and Pooh Bear and TSG 1-2. So how are we going to decide the wig of shame?
As always, it's got to be paper, scissors, rock. It's our tiebreaker, isn't it?
Rock, paper, scissors.
Yep.
All right, gentlemen. It's time to draw.
All right.
Wait.
Good night.
Wait.
All right. I'm following you.
All right. 1, 2, 3, shoot.
Yes!
What is that?
He's so laggy.
There's no way. There's no way he's lagging that much.
No! I went with him.
That didn't go very well.
It's like I showed my hand and you had just started pounding your Not to mention, I don't have a wig here, so
So Pat, you gotta wear it.
Don't make me laugh.
How about this? How about we just make it new? It's a tie. The new guy's got to go wig. It's like initiation.
Oh,
sounds right to me.
Green shirt.
This is garbage.
Green shirt guy.
I'm sorry.
That's another one. That's another one for TSG. The shirt is green.
Wait a minute. So, Pooh, you owe me one then.
I don't know.
The next time I lose, you got to have your wig, and then I just got to – it's your turn, buddy. So,
oh, my goodness.
Agreed?
Sure.
Do we agree?
Yeah, sure.
It's going to be my third time.
Wig.
Oh, you rock that wig, though. Make it happen.
Yeah.
Garbage.
So while he's putting on the wig, I got to explain the inside joke on the green shirt.
Yeah.
So, we have these man event shirts, and they're all raised blue.
First edition.
Except one, the original edition, except one. We had one that was printed green. And we had given it to TSG as a thank you for starring or playing a role in the boot camp short that we did.
Yeah.
So we wore our man event shirts on our travel day to Arlington, and we all matched except TSG.
This is garbage.
The green shirt.
This new guy stuff, man. There's laws on hazing,
Hey, which one of you was the one who told us the new guy rule for the Supreme Court?
That was me.
That was Chief, me. Share it so Pat understands here how long he's got to live with this.
When you're the new guy on the Supreme Court and they go to chambers, it doesn't matter how long you're there, and it's until the next new guy comes. You are the one that has to get up to open the door. because there's no one else in that room. It's just how many 9 justices that are in there, having their deliberations. It's just them. So someone's got to get up and do it, and it's always the newest guy. So when Roberts was appointed to the Supreme Court and then elected as Chief Justice, he was the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, but he was still the new guy. He had to get up and answer the door until a replacement came or the new guy came on. So unlucky TSG, you are the new guy for till someone else comes.
Yeah. Well, this is garbage.
It's garbage as your audio right now.
I'm gonna run this. I'm gonna run this up the chain. By the way, boys, there's gonna be an email coming out going to the head honcho on this one.
Contact HR in the morning.
Yeah. Let us know who that is. By the way,
hey,
because I haven't gotten paid yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody's getting paid around here. If I had to wear this again, so I got an idea. Next time, be love. You take a piece of paper, you write down a number, 1 through 10. We both pick the number. Then there's no timing issues. You lift up the paper. There you go.
Okay.
Whoever's closest to the number.
Sounds to me like you're a sore loser, but
hey, it was his idea for paper, scissors, rock. By the way,
it was.
It's also his idea for the wig. I mean. Let's just put all this soup in the bowl.
Yeah, you might as well. All right, so let's look at some games for next week. Okay, so first game. And
can you hear me?
Can you do us a favor and actually write this down?
All right, that's how I'm doing the show.
Okay, you're not
seeing my wig.
All right, so first game, Chief.
Yes.
49ers and Packers. Who you got?
I got the Packers. I got the Packers. They're going to travel to the West Coast. I get that. Aaron Rodgers, they got beat again today at Minnesota. I don't see Aaron Rodgers as a loser. I see him as a guy he says, let's go, guys. He's going to get this team together, and off they come.
Pooh Bear, who you got?
I'm taking the Packers all the way. I still think the 49ers are reeling. They have not figured it out yet. I don't think they're going to figure it out against Aaron Rodgers in the Pack. And that's at Green Bay. I remind you, we are in Green Bay type weather.
It's at Green Bay. I thought it was in San Francisco.
Yeah,
I was told Niners versus Pack. So is it Pack versus Niners?
Yeah,
dude, I just wrote it down, man. I just wrote it down.
Sorry.
All right, I'm going Niners.
Scratch the weather part, but
Niners.
Yep, the Bucks gave the rest of the league the recipe to beat the Packers, and the 49ers got the defense to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm with you. I've got the Niners too.
Wow. So I'm the only one going Green Bay.
No, I went Green Bay.
Green Bay.
Oh,
Chief
okay.
Green Bay. All right. Here's the next game. This is a difficult game to handicap. These are probably the 2 worst teams in the NFL. The Jaguars and the Texans.
Oh my gosh!
What?
No, that wasn't the game.
Dude, you don't make all the rules around here.
We agreed on Pooh Bear's picks.
TSG, you're up. Who do you pick?
Well, here's the deal, TSG. You've got to be in the green room before the show to have final say.
That's gnarly.
The new guy's having a rough show.
Terrible.
All right, that is in Jacksonville, by the way, folks.
I'll pass.
Doesn't matter.
You guys go ahead. Let me look this real quick.
I'll check
I believe Florida Georgia's in Jacksonville this weekend too.
It's always in Georgia. It's always in Jacksonville.
I know, but I'm saying it's this weekend.
It's not always this weekend.
I think it's the first weekend in November, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So I'll jump right in on this. I'm going to say Texans.
Yeah, that's where I'm going to.
Yeah.
All right, TSG, what you got?
Texans.
Wow, I'm going Jags.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I'm going Jags because I don't even know who plays quarterback for the Texans, but I know that guy with the fancy mustache plays for the Jags.
Guy's name is Deshaun Watson. He's not that bad.
Who's the guy with the fancy mustache? You mean Blake Bortles?
No,
he was
talking about. He's talking about
Minshew.
Minshew.
Oh, Minshew. Yeah. Okay.
Nobody care about that.
Bless you.
All right, here we go. Next game. Seahawks and Bills.
That is in Buffalo. For those who care.
Oh, man. I'm gonna tell you what. This looks like on paper like it should be hard to predict, but it's not. Seahawks.
Ooh.
I'm going with all visiting teams this week.
Wow. Okay. Pooh Bear?
I'm going Buffalo. I'm going to ride this donkey till the end.
Mm-hmm. I think
Seattle,
I am too.
Seattle has been very vulnerable lately. Their defense is not very good at all. They literally survive on Deshaun or on Russell Wilson and DK Metcalf, who has come on like a monster. This guy, have you guys seen him? Like his body, his physical stature is amazing to me.
I know he's hot.
Well, I don't know what he looks like. Then.
Somebody mute him.
We're not going with that.
Somebody mute him. All right. TSG, what you got?
Russell Wilson is having a fantastic year. And so I think the Bills will run into a wall here. Josh Allen is 4th on total yards passing. And but Russell Wilson is the more efficient QB with 71% versus Allen 67%. Russell also has the most TDs in the league right now, number 1. So I'm going Seahawks.
All right.
Wow. He did some research.
Hey, I did some research for tomorrow night's game. I'm ready for that one if we want to talk about it.
We're about to get there. Okay.
Thank
So
goodness. I hate to do homework for no reason.
I know. My pick for the Seahawks Bills is I think the Bills have the hot hand. I'm going to continue to ride that hot hand. I'm with Pooh Bear on this one. All right, here's our last pick. And you guys didn't see this is the surprise pick.
Oh, boy.
Okay, let's look at Pat. He's like, what? All right.
How is this fair when you get to research the surprise pick?
Okay, I won't weigh in. Trump versus Biden.
Oh, boy.
Oh, I was hoping you were going to go Chick-fil-A or Popeyes on the chicken sandwich.
So this has nothing to do with your political interests or views.
Just who you think's going to win.
This is who you think.
Well, here's what I think. I think that we are not going to know the winner come Tuesday night. How about
Well, that's a possibility there.
That's true. I think that's very true.
I think all right, so the way I see this playing out in my mind is that we will see what appears to be a Trump victory. That's my son crawls in the background again. But there will be all these outstanding ballots, the mail-in ballots and the provisional ballots and whatnot that are going to show that Biden is actually the winner. That's where I'm going with that.
Hmm.
I'm going Trump.
Do you have any reasoning behind that?
I think. Can I use my mask now?
Sure. Sure.
We actually I had a contest I was involved in earlier this week where I had to create a scary Halloween mask, and this is the scariest mask that I could think of.
That's wrong.
This guy.
You know it's not wrong. You know that's right.
You're fired. You're fired. All right, TSG, who you got?
So I think the polls out there are showing that Biden's going to win. So I think Biden's going to win it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm with you. If we're going to talk polls, it certainly. Here's the thing. This thing is not going to be a blowout.
No.
For sure, right? This thing is going to be pretty. I think there's probably 3 or 4 key battleground states it's really going to come down to. It's not going to be a blowout. Listen, we were surprised 4 years ago when Trump pulled this thing out.
Yeah.
You could be surprised again.
Sure.
Trump was down 20 points on election day. He's not down 20 points this time.
Yeah, the polls definitely had it wrong in 16.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they did.
All right. Bucks game. Let's go.
Yep, let's go.
Thank goodness.
Buccaneers.
I'm ready for some Buccaneer football. It's been a long way. It feels like – so what the audience may not know is that we spent most of this past Sunday's game researching and scheduling and booking tickets and hotels. And there was not a whole lot of viewing on my part, and I don't think the rest of the guys watched the Bucs game. So it literally, to me, it feels like I haven't seen a Buccaneers game in 2 weeks. What are you
Well, I
doing?
I know Tom Brady threw a lot of touchdowns. We had over a 100-yard rushing game, and I think Chief did some research there. But if you're talking about keys to victory here. I did do some research on the New York Giants as well. And so they only practiced with 4 offensive linemen this week due to COVID quarantines.
Really?
Left guard Willie Hernandez tested positive. Jones has fumbled or thrown an interception in all 20 games of his career. I didn't know that stat, actually. He has the second most giveaways in this season in the NFL. Last game, he had an 80-yard run, but the turf tripped him. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Yeah,
Before he got to the end zone, nobody around him. He was clocked at 21 miles per hour, the fastest top speed of any QB since 2018.
He was cruising.
Yeah. He's the last in the league on passing yards. Jones tends to throw to receiver Darius Slayton, I believe it is.
Mm-hmm.
He's got 27 catches for 429 yards, 3 TDs. So they got something going on there. Pretty good. But Devontae Freeman's not playing. He's got an ankle injury, and that's the Giants' leading running back since Barkley went out with the season-ending injury.
Yep.
So they're going to have the Wayne Gallman starting, 34 yards, 1 TD last week versus the Eagles. Wide receiver Sterling Shepard, he's expected to play. He's probably one of their better guys. But he's got a shoulder and toe injury. So we'll see about that. 6 receptions for 59 yards and 1 TD for him. But that's what I got, man. I think these guys are a mess right now. I just don't think they have a shot against the Bucs, but the Bucs do need to show up.
So here's my prediction. Blake Bortles plays the fourth quarter.
Really?
I don't see the Giants hanging in at all. And I hope not, since last year we were at the Giants game when they played here against the Bucs. And we were literally celebrating that we had to hit a walk-off field goal.
Well, if you remember right, that was the game. I think that was Daniel Jones's first start.
Mm-hmm.
It was Saquon Barkley went out in the first quarter with a high ankle sprain. We thought as Buccaneer fans that this was going to be a cakewalk, and did not turn out to be that way. I think we saw not the emergence, but we saw what a valuable target Ingram was for the Giants tight ends. And Daniel Jones, put it on him. Of course, Jameis threw the ball away about 12 different times to Giant players. And Jason Pierre-Paul is ready and fired up. He has been all over social media this week talking about how he is ready to dismantle this Giants offensive line. So we'll see if he can put his money where his mouth is. I think it's going to be interesting. I'm hoping to be in bed by 10 o'clock with a secure victory. I'll be honest.
So I understand that the Giants leading running back is not playing. Okay, I get that, but their lead rusher is playing. Do you know who their lead rusher is?
Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones is their lead rusher, and that's a huge problem for this team. Okay, we are number 1 against the run. It's not going to take a lot to make the Giants one-dimensional. Once we have them one-dimensional, then the defensive line is going to pin their ears back, and we're going to have guys covered, and he's going to be he has been on the ground. I think he's been sacked over 20 times this year, and I'm going to tell you what, he may get 5 more tomorrow night. This defensive line is coming after him. I think that we're going to see backup quarterbacks from both teams in the fourth quarter.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, we may win this thing, 35-10.
Not going to hurt my feelings one bit.
B-Love, did you mean Blaine Gabbert instead of Blake Bortles? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
Yeah, I didn't know that Blake was wrong.
For all I care, they could let Byron Leftwich play quarterback.
That'd be kind of cool. That would be a first, huh?
Why not?
He's been a quarterback here.
Does anyone know who the Giants' backup quarterback is?
Colt McCoy?
I thought it was Blake Bortles the way Brian B-Love was talking.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
But Colt McCoy.
It's Blaine Gabbert, y'all.
Yeah.
It's Blaine Gabbert.
That's
Colt McCoy.
That's the Buccaneers' backup.
Yeah. It's
We're
Colt
talking
McCoy.
Giants. All right.
Wait a minute. The Buccaneers' backup quarterback is Colt McCoy?
No.
Blaine Gabbert is the Buccaneers' backup quarterback.
Okay.
The Giants' backup quarterback is Colt McCoy.
When was the last time that guy took a snap?
Maybe
when
college.
He was playing for Hawaii?
Yeah.
It's been a long time. Texas.
I will say this: if there's something that could happen here,
Who was the guy who played for Hawaii?
When? I mean,
it was the guy. He was like the NFL's or the NCAA's like all-time passer. Colt Brennan.
Brennan? I don't remember that.
Somebody Google search it.
So, on any given Sunday, you can lose. Joe Judge, the head coach for the New York Giants, was in New England for the previous 8 years. So he does know Tom Brady, and he knows his tendencies. He might have some inside stuff. The Giants' past 3 losses have been by a combined 5 points. Eagles, Redskins, Cowboys, not very good teams, but not saying much there. But their defense is 8th in the league against the run. I will say that. So
let's hope. Like I said,
Colt Brennan.
It's Colt Brennan, and do you know what year he was drafted?
2008.
Yeah.
Well, he should still be in the league.
He's not in the league anymore.
That was your Hawaii quarterback?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's not the backup for the New York Giants.
No.
He is not.
All right. Anyway, so you're hopefully on paper the Buccaneers they're paper champions right now. They're going to be the winners of this game by all means. But like TSG just pointed out, there's a lot of intangibles that may come about. We may have some guys tomorrow night just feeling like Dookie and not show up. So hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully that is a dominant victory by the mighty Buccaneers, and we can, like I said.
Listen, I think the Buccaneers are kind of on a roll right now. I think that win against Green Bay was a huge confidence booster. Absolutely, crushed last week. We haven't played well in the fourth quarter in years, and we played well in the fourth quarter last week. I think this game, obviously, to me, a victory is to come out of here without any significant injuries. I don't know. Will we see AB this week? Or is he still in COVID protocol?
He's still on suspension.
He'll come with the Saints.
Listen,
Okay.
the two teams the Bucs have lost against are deadlocked right now with a minute and a half left in overtime.
Yeah, and we have New Orleans again a week from today at about this time.
That's a huge game.
So next week we will get off of this show and go right to a Buccaneers primetime versus New Orleans game.
That's when we'll have AB. I don't know how in shape he's going to be, ready to go, and then
Bruce Arians, he's ready.
Yeah,
Bruce Arians said he's ready.
Physically, he is in great shape. He has not stopped working out since any of his suspension. Now, whether or not he's got the playbook, the terminology, the timing, all that kind of stuff, that remains to be seen. But physically, I mean, he's been all over his social media accounts displaying his workout ethic and what he's been doing.
It's payback time on the Saints. I'm going to tell you that.
Let's hope.
It's payback time.
Let's hope. Let's hope the Bears can pull off a victory here.
So this is week 8. Let's say we go ahead and pull this out. We are 6-2 halfway through the season. Is that where you would have thought we'd be?
Yeah. I wouldn't. I think I picked 10-6 was my number overall. Mm-hmm. Still uncertain of Tom Brady, and actually I was uncertain of the defense, but they have certainly proved me wrong.
I think there was only one game they really looked outmatched,
and that was game 1.
What was that?
We're 5-2. But I mean, you probably
win this week. We'll be 6-2.
6-2.
You're already counting the New York Giants. I get it.
Yep. Yes, that's what I was doing.
That's never went bad for anybody before.
Never. Famous last words.
Well, all your hopes and dreams of the Bears beating the Saints for us just went up and smoking an overtime field goal.
No, they've both. They have both had a possession. Never mind.
Yeah.
So New Orleans wins.
Yes, 26-23
on a Lutz field goal.
Yeah.
All right.
That's one earlier.
All right.
So what else we got? We got about a minute and a half or half a minute left. I don't know if we.
Booger, I said take us home, my man.
All right. I don't think we had anything else on our list. It's been a great week here at the main event. We are just got a lot to be looking forward to. Starting to plan our next comedy short. If we can get the Chief healthy and get some time to film, I think we've got another banger for you guys. TSG is upset with the wig of shame. It's been fun. We had a lot of fun. Thanks for those that commented and got involved. I didn't really put too many comments on the screen today. They were they were appropriate, but not for other reasons. Whatever. They didn't get on the screen today. So we appreciate those that you watched. If you haven't watched us before and would like to subscribe to this kind of content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. It tells you and it tells us that you appreciate what we're doing and that you want to see more of this. So hope you have a great week. We'll be back here again, 7 o'clock live next Sunday. Good night, everyone.